on a bargain basement deal and is telling her, well, we're going to wait.
Nike landed one of the rare generational potential.
Today, we've got huge news in the world of basketball marketing that's leaving Nike fans in shock and the sports industry buzzing. Caitlin Clark, the breakout star of the WNBA, has officially signed a massive deal with Adidas. Yep, you heard that right. Nike has just lost out big time. And we're going to break down exactly why Nike is in serious trouble after this bombshell move. Stick around because you don't want to miss this. First, let's talk about how Caitlin Clark became one of the hottest names in basketball. She's not just another rookie, she's a generational talent. In her rookie season with the Indiana Fever, she smashed records left and right, racking up the most points ever scored by a rookie, dominating the assist leaderboard, and even landing multiple triple-doubles. That's something no other rookie has ever done in WNBA history. Nike just made a mistake that could cost them big time. The sports giant that signed some of the biggest names in history, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, LeBron James, has just fumbled their next generational star. Nike had Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's hottest name, in their grasp, but now Adidas has swooped in. This is how Nike just let Caitlin Clark slip through their fingers, and why they're in big trouble for it. Nike is an empire built on signing stars at the peak of their fame. But this time, they're playing a game they can't afford to lose. Let's go back to April 2024, when Nike signed Caitlin Clark to an 8-year deal worth $28 million. Clark, fresh off an explosive college career and entering the WNBA, was the next big thing. Fans expected Nike to make her the face of their brand, with a signature shoe, commercials, the works. But guess what? None of that happened. Clark's been absolutely crushing it on the court. She's been selling out arenas, breaking records, and driving merchandise sales like no one's business. So the question is, why did Nike, the biggest name in sports apparel, seem to ignore their golden goose? So let's break it down. Back in April, Caitlin Clark signed an 8-year deal with Nike worth up to $28 million. Sounds like a huge payday, right? But here's the catch. Despite that massive contract, Nike has done almost nothing to promote her. No signature shoe, no big ad campaigns, no billboards, just crickets. To put it in perspective, Nike is sitting on a potential billion-dollar athlete, someone who could follow in the footsteps of Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Tiger Woods. But here's where it gets crazy. Despite Caitlin Clark becoming the unanimous WNBA Rookie of the Year, Nike still hasn't released a Caitlin Clark signature shoe. While Nike was sleeping on Caitlin Clark, Adidas was wide awake. They saw the golden opportunity right in front of them and pounced. They didn't waste any time. They've been actively promoting Clark, celebrating her achievements, and positioning her as the future of women's basketball. In fact, Adidas didn't just sit back and watch. They brought in Billie Jean King, a global ambassador for the brand, to publicly praise Clark. That's right, one of the biggest legends in women's sports is backing Caitlin Clark, and Adidas is making sure the world knows about it. Now let's talk about Nike's instant regret. How did the biggest sports brand in the world manage to fumble a generational talent like Caitlin Clark? Well, here's the deal. Nike reportedly prioritized promoting A'ja Wilson, a WNBA MVP, over Clark. Don't get me wrong, A'ja Wilson is phenomenal. But fans are scratching their heads over why Nike hasn't balanced their stars more effectively. And now, it looks like Nike's hesitancy could cost them big time. Fans are already frustrated. Clark is one of the most popular athletes in the WNBA right now, and Nike isn't capitalizing on that momentum. So what's next? Caitlin Clark signing with Adidas could change the entire game. Adidas is playing chess, while Nike looks like they're still setting up the checkerboard. And here's the kicker. Fans are starting to ask if Nike is kicking themselves for dropping the ball on Clark. This isn't just about sneakers anymore. This is about dominating the future of women's sports. Caitlin Clark isn't just a basketball player. She's a movement. Her impact on the WNBA has been massive, drawing in thousands of new viewers and making WNBA games more popular than ever. Adidas isn't just stepping up their game. They're winning the long game. By aligning themselves with Caitlin Clark, they're sending a powerful message to the sports world. Adidas believes in the future of women's basketball, and they're betting big on Clark to lead the charge. And you know what? They're not wrong. With her record-breaking rookie season, her massive fan base, and her ability to sell out arenas, Caitlin Clark could single-handedly bring the WNBA to a new level of popularity. Adidas is making sure they're along for the ride. So what does this mean for the future of women's sports? Well, the writing's on the wall. With Adidas backing Clark and Nike seemingly dropping the ball, we could be seeing a major shift in the sports marketing landscape. Brands can no longer afford to sleep on women athletes, and Caitlin Clark is proving that the future of sports isn't just about men's basketball anymore. Meanwhile, Adidas isn't wasting time. They're pushing Clark to the forefront, celebrating her success, and banking on the fact that she's the future of women's basketball. With Adidas behind her, Clark's influence is only going to grow. Nike's inaction is leaving fans frustrated. Some are even calling for Nike to make drastic changes. With Adidas capitalizing on Clark's momentum, Nike's silence is becoming more and more noticeable. The world's biggest sports brand is sleeping on one of the biggest stars, and it's not sitting well with fans. So, has Nike fumbled one of the biggest opportunities in women's sports? While they sit on the sidelines, Adidas is leading the charge, positioning themselves as the brand that gets it. Caitlin Clark is a generational talent, and Adidas is all in. Nike, on the other hand, they might have just made one of their biggest mistakes yet. Let's break it down. Nike signed Clark to a deal worth $28 million for 8 years. That's not small money, but in comparison to other sports contracts, it's a bargain. Clark's potential to generate revenue, especially with a signature shoe, could be huge. Just imagine if Nike had released her shoe this season. The sales would have been astronomical. And who knows? Maybe this is just the beginning. Will other brands follow Adidas' lead? Will Nike regret letting Caitlin Clark slip through their fingers? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching. Do you think Nike will regret letting Caitlin Clark slip through their fingers? Will Adidas take over the women's sports market? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.